Alright, today we're going to be going over an install on a 2019 Toyota Tundra. We're going to be taking the radio out first so we can get behind here and connect the V-line. The first step for that, we're going to be using a pry tool and a 10mm. So the first part you're going to take off is this bottom part here. It's got your USB and aux if you have that, along with the cigarette lighter, 2 cigarette lighters. There is a line right here below the knobs. You just want to get your pry tool in there, and then you'll simply just pry down. You don't want to be too rough with it because there are multiple clips around it and there are 2 at the bottom. And once you kind of get it pried out, it'll come out, and then we just need to disconnect everything. Now that we've got that panel out, you can see there's 2 clips on the bottom, 2 up top, and then 3 along the top part. The next part is going to be taking out the AC controls here. You can pretty much just pull on it. If you do want to pry, I'd recommend prying on the side right here, just to get this top clip out. We're not going to do that in our case. And then there's 1 plug back here. And then on this panel, we've got the 2 clips up top and the 2 on the bottom. After that, there are 4 screws on the bottom here. They're all 10mm, and we'll change the camera angle for that. Alright, so now that we're on this side, you can see there are screws down here. There's 2 right below the radio, and there's 1 way back here, and 1 way back here. You'll want a tool like this, at least an extension like this for your socket. And we're just going to take those loose. Alright, now that we got those loose, the radio will come out. In this case, we're going to use a pry tool. And then once you've got this out, we can go ahead and just disconnect everything. If you disconnect everything before you do the install, you can have the whole radio out. It makes it a little bit easier to route your wires, not having the radio halfway plugged in or in the way. There we go. Alright, so now we're looking at the V-line placement right now. We decided on doing the glove box. It's one of the best spots to install the V-line in case you need to get to it for anything. And in this case, we do have this door here for the interior cabin filter. So we're just going to simply push up on that, and it'll come loose. And then once it's loose, you have to slide it to the side to get these little clips out. And then on here, you can actually look and see that there's a 90-degree here. Behind here, there's nothing. Behind this side is the cabin air filter, but here there's nothing, so we're going to drill a hole here and run our wires through there. And before we decided that, we went ahead and looked back here, and if you shine your flashlight through, you can see it come out up there, so you know that there is a way to actually route the wires to the radio, and there's actually a lot of room back there. So we went ahead and got all of our T-harnesses hooked up here. There's 3 altogether. We've got the 2 on top here and 1 right below there. And we've got all of our factory harnesses plugged back in. So we're just going to slide this back into place. The 2 clips up top are the ones that you need to get in. You'll hear them snap into place. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and put our screws back in. Alright, now that we've got all the screws in, we're going to go ahead and do the AC panel next. And that's just the 1 plug right here. And this pops back into place. There's the 2 little slots right here for the clips, so make sure you get those in right there. And then you want to line up the bottom as well before you do the final push. And last but not least, we've got our control panel here. We did a flush mount USB here, and so it just comes out to a male end here. So we're going to plug that into our V-line USB. Alright, now that we've got all those in place, just line up all of these clips. Get the USB cable out of the way. And then we've got everything reinstalled. Alright, so we're going to go over the install now. We ran everything to the glove box. We took that cabin air filter cover out, drilled our hole in it. And then we ran all of our wires out here. We kind of test tape them up. If you do something kind of like this to kind of keep it all clean and tape it all up, make sure you test everything first. You don't want to have to undo all this because it didn't work. So now we're just going to go ahead and make all of our connections real quick. We've also put Velcro on the bottom here, and then Velcro on the bottom shelf here, so it'll stay still. You don't have to worry about it coming loose. And we put felt tape on the side here so it doesn't scratch up the glove box at all. So we're going to plug everything in. Alright, now that we've got it all plugged in, we're just going to slide it over that Velcro. All the wires. Okay, so we got it installed here, and as you can see over here, we've got the hole. There's some cases where this 20-pin plug won't fit through the hole. You can turn it sideways and kind of push it through. Just be mindful of the pins here. Make sure that they're not getting stressed too much on the wire, or else the pin can rip off from the wire, or it can come loose. Same with any of these pin connections. Typically on this one, it'll just be the display cable and the 20-pin here. These other ones will go through pretty smoothly. And then that's it.